Hello, 1 2 1 2. Welcome to the Hero Font Podcast, y'all. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, 1 2 1 2, and the place to be. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Hero Font Podcast. Welcome to the Hero Font Podcast. Your brother Steve here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Be with you in a minute. Hello, welcome, everyone to the Hero Font Podcast. Be with you guys in 1 minute. Got a pretty good show tonight for you brothers and sisters. Be with you in 1 minute. Welcome to the Hierophant Podcast, my brothers and sisters. Okay, what's up, y'all? Welcome, guys. It's your brother Steve here again at the Hierophant Podcast. Happy New Year. Let me start out by saying Happy New Year's to everybody. Haven't seen you guys since 2021. We're now in 2022. Feels good. Thank the Lord God that He let me live to see another year. Hopefully, I have many, many more and everyone else. But it's your brother Steve here at the Hierophant Podcast, saying what's up to you all. And this podcast here tonight is going to be a serious podcast on our mayor-elect, Eric Adams, and his work thus far. 1 week and some change in office. He has declared war on New York City street gangs, and I like it. I like to know what the people think. So that's what this dialogue is going to be based around. For those that'll be here, and for those that'll be here later on to see it after the fact, I want you to leave it down in the comment sections. What do you think about the mayor's declaration of war on these gangs? Some people fear that it will cause more black lives at the hands of white police. I want to know what you think about that. I have my opinion. We'll be talking about all of that and more on this podcast. So thank you for joining. Again, the subject tonight is Mayor-elect Eric Adams has declared war on New York City street gangs. I'd like to know what you think about that. I think it's a good thing. There's a worry, there's a fear among the people that this declaration of war will cause more black lives to be lost among the young people. But I say, isn't there many lives, black lives being lost every day among the young people as they senselessly murder each other and indiscriminately shoot and murder other people? Isn't it the same thing? Right? So should there not be an attempt by the police or law enforcement to try and curb this violence? Because if we leave them to do what they're doing, there's murder and bloodshed every day. You turn on your TV, you see it. So you say if the mayor declares war on these young people and he puts the plainclothes task force out there, young people may get murdered more. But this time at the hands of the NYPD. But isn't it the same thing? Young people are being murdered every day by themselves. So where do we go? We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I would appreciate if anybody would like to call up tonight because I want to hear some feedback from you guys. The number's on the screen, 347-595-9134. Okay. Also, I want to talk about the mayor. He's a very smart man, Eric Adams. I think we should all get behind this mayor, right? Because he's a retired police sergeant with many many years on the police force, right? So he has an idea of how to deal with crime and law enforcement. I think that's a good thing. And he has a crime bill that he wants to put out, or some strategies that he wants to put out uh, while he fights crime that I think we should get behind. The plainclothes unit is one. The plainclothes unit, if you guys know, this is a unit from back in the days in the late 90s and 2000s. And these are police that are dressed in plain clothes. They're not dressed in uniform, and they're walking around like ordinary people. And they stop people, they frisk people, or what have you, randomly. Some people may have a problem with that. Some people may say that that takes away from some of the liberties of black folk, and you won't like that because we understand what it means from a historical point of view. We don't like it, but I say to you this: if you do nothing, then the killings continue to go on among black people. I was just looking, how do you say, 3 days in a row, I look at NY News, where I live. 3 days in a row, murder, murder, murder. Somebody died 3 consecutive days. There's more than that, but I just decided to do 3 days in a row. And on all three occasions, every day, shot and killed. A young black man shot and killed. Middle-aged black man shot and killed in the middle of the street by other black people. So where do we go from here, brothers and sisters? Where do we go? You say you put the plainclothes cops out there, it's going to cause more killing at the hands of police against black people. I say that the killing is going on now, killing black on black. Is there a difference? Is one worse than the other? Or maybe the problem is within us, within our black community. Huh? And I also want to send out condolences, my condolences to all of the people who lost their lives in that great fire in the Bronx, up there by Fordham Road. 19 people, unfortunately, passed away. 9 were children. I hate to hear that, man. But God had a plan, I guess. But my condolences to the families who lost their lives in that great tragedy. I pray that the Lord God will be with you and comfort you in your time of need. And I'm with you in prayer and spirit if you guys ever see this video. But back to the plainclothes unit. Hey, how you doing there? How you doing there, sister? She says it's sad. No doubt, no doubt. Now that you're here, sister, and I don't want to I'll just say De Silva. I don't want to butcher your first name, but the subject proper for tonight is that Eric Adams declares war on these gang people out here. And hey, there he is, DMR. What's going on, my brother? Long time no see. Let me copy you, and I'm going to copy the link, DMR. And as usual, if you want to come in, you're more than welcome. Or anybody else in the chat that wants to join in, you're more than welcome to do so. Anyone that wants to join in, you're more than welcome to do so. So again, Eric Adams has declared war on the gangs, right? And the gangs consist mostly of young black people, mostly. There are a few Latino people. There's some Latino gangs, what have you, but for the most part, it's young black people, right? So the mayor has declared war, and there he is. Hey, what's up, DMR?
What's up, brother Steve? How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, man. Hanging in there. Hadn't seen you in a while. What's going on? How you been? Happy New Year, first of all.
I'm good, brother. Happy same back to you, man. How you feeling, man?
Hey, man, I'm hanging in there. Just thanking the Lord God that He gave me another year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hopefully, I can get to live many, many more, like everybody else. Yeah, no doubt. But how was your New Year's?
It was chill, man. Okay, I just relaxed, took care of some business, man. That's it.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. No doubt about it. Yeah, mine was pretty much the same. I fell asleep 5 minutes before the ball dropped. My wife woke me up. I was sleeping, man. I was tired as hell. Yeah, You have so many New Years, it's all the same after a while. Same thing,
Yeah,
ball drop, confetti, and all that. But this, like I was saying, the subject for tonight is again the mayor, Eric Adams, mayor elect of New York City. I'm happy that he's the mayor. You know, she says, De Silva says, Adams is gonna be a problem. He has a lot to prove. He is the same puppet as the past BS mayors. Wow, now that's deep. That's really, really deep. I don't know how to feel about that because man just got in. He just got in the chair. But one thing I can say, I appreciate what he did thus far. His task force and bringing down those gang members out there in Brooklyn that
yeah.
were responsible for 4 murders. He took them down. He said that they were terrorizing the borough of Brooklyn. So it seems that as soon as he got in the chair, he got straight to business. Another thing is that he hired some people. Now you have the insiders that are going at him. We all know that on the police force, you have good officers and then you have racist officers, right?
Right,
So
right.
the racist officers are putting up a stink now. They're making a stink because he hired his brother. He hired his brother to be a very high ranking official within his cabinet. His brother is responsible for his security. People are going against that, saying that this is nepotism, meaning he's hiring people. Hey, Flo Wolf, how you doing? Thanks for being here, sister. Good to see you. Happy New Year's, Flo. Happy New Year's, everybody. So the mayor, he hired his brother, and they're trying to say that his brother's not qualified for the job. It's a job that pays about $200,000+ per year. Eric Adams is saying that his brother is qualified. Now, I say that to say this because we know that there are good cops and bad cops. We know that there's racism in the force. And Eric Adams says, I appointed this man, my brother, because I know he will secure me the way I need to be because of white supremacy. See that? He says, I know that there's white supremacy within the ranks of the NYPD. These are the cops that we're talking about. We're not saying all cops are bad. We're not saying that. But the racist ones, these are the ones we need to clean out and get out of the system. The mayor, Eric Adams, is the man for that job. He's about a week in a few days in.
Well,
He's making claims like that. That's bold. It's courageous, and I like it. You
well,
know.
I think that's a good thing because it's a good thing that he's attacking the racist police with the same vigor as he's
Mm-hmm.
attacking the gangs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had read about this detective up in New York back in the '60s and the '70s named Bo Dietl.
Mm-hmm.
And Bo Dietl was talking high about John Gotti, about how
Right.
John Gotti helped save his life and all that.
Right.
But when he became a high official, he never talked about arresting John Gotti or nothing. But he always talked about arresting and Nicky Barnes.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So you were supporting criminality when you seen fit to support it.
Right. But
So
is that?
it's a good.
No, go ahead, my brother.
So it's a good thing that this guy is doing both sides of the fence, meaning he's going to clean up the streets with the
Mm-hmm.
street gangs, and not only that, he's going to clean up clean up the inside force with the bad apples. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. To me, that's very, very courageous, and it makes sense to see why he now says, "I want to appoint my brother for my security." You see, he's challenging that structure that has been in place for so long. Those
Exactly.
bad apples that are down to hurt black people. They don't give a damn about black people, right? So
Mhm.
he got rid of him, and he brought in another controversial figure. Um, this man. Hold on one second.
Mhm.
We can play a little video. I'm going to play a video so we can get a little idea of what's going on. Add the screen. Okay, let me see. I want to play some video here. Uh, one second. Is this my video? Wait a minute now. Uh-oh. Matter of fact, so I read this to you. So it says there's another controversial figure, right? This man name is Philip Banks. He was uh, he was supposed to be in some type of scandal years ago. Let me remove this. Stop. Hold on one second. Yeah, that's what I want. I haven't been here for a while, y'all, so you got to bear with me. Yep. Okay, here it is. Here's the article. So this man has been involved in some type of scandal. His name was Philip Banks. And as we can read, it says Mayor Eric Adams today announced the appointment of Philip Banks III as Deputy Mayor for Public Safety. He most recently served as the New York City Police Department NYPD Chief of Department. As Deputy Mayor, Banks will be tasked with coordinating all agencies on public safety matters to ensure they align with the mayor's vision. Mayor Adams notes Banks' long and distinguished career in law enforcement and how he is well suited to fill the role of the city's first deputy mayor for public safety since the 1980s. So he says, I say it often, public safety and justice are the prerequisites to prosperity. As someone wrote who wore a bulletproof vest protecting the children and families of the city of 22 years and now has the privilege of serving as mayor, I need a partner in government who understands what it takes to keep New Yorkers safe. Phil Banks is that person, and I'm grateful for his continued public service in this new role to help our administration deliver the safety we need and the justice we deserve, said Mayor Eric Adams. But the thing is now, this man has been in a scandal, some type of scandal with the FBI, where he was supposed to have stolen some type of monies around somewhere in the $300,000. And there was a big suit. The FBI came against them, and he was the only one out of a few people who remained unindicted. So the people who don't like Eric Adams, the powers that be that want to keep the power structure intact, they are criticizing him for that. But Eric Adams continues to say that this man had no criminal charges brought up against him, so I'm going to keep him. Now, you know, when they want to get rid of somebody, the first thing they do is demonize. They bring up everything bad that you've done in the past or something you may be doing wrong. So the powers that be that want the structures to remain where Black community don't get the attention they deserve, where racist police are still on the force, they are now attacking the mayor. And I feel like it's our job to get behind him. You see?
I mean, I see, and I agree, Steve, with that, because at least he's doing something, and he's preventing the wolves to be let loose on you. See,
exactly.
A lot of people don't see that aspect of his job. The only thing they say, oh, it's Eric Adams. You know, he's not qualified. But what he's doing behind closed doors, he's trying to make the city safe for the people. You know what I'm saying?
And also while acknowledging that structure within the police force that has something wrong with it. Now he's challenging that, and that's a very dangerous thing within itself. You see, that's a very, very dangerous thing within itself.
Well, you know what happened to right Serpico. You remember him, right? Serpico back in 1972.
I was too little.
Well, same with me, but I mean, through history, you study Serpico got killed. Well, not killed, shot in the face, and he was at a shootout set up by his fellow officers because he actually blew the whistle on corruption.
Wow, you see that?
So when Serpico did that, the officer set him up. But anyway, Serpico retired, and he actually spoke about the corruption. So Eric Adams, man, is not doing anything wrong. You know, I think he's really doing a good job. Now, some people from the street that are into the criminal aspect still at the age that they had, they may be against that because you know they want their gang to flourish and they want to still indulge in that. You know what I'm saying? But the law-abiding people that's trying to live a peaceful life don't want that.
Exactly. So that's why I also think we as New Yorkers have to get behind the mayor, Eric Adams, and support him. Because I'm telling you something, de Blasio was in the chair, right? We had de Blasio in there. And again, I say de Blasio was okay, but on crime, the man was absolutely almost oblivious to what was going on. And I can't help but to think that when he looked at crime and he made his judgments about crime, because before he went out the chair, he said, New York City's at an all-time low in crime. We're good to go. I assure you, everything's fine. And I'm turning on my TV and I'm seeing people being killed every day. I'm seeing shootouts, and I'm like, well, who is he talking to? Is he talking about all New Yorkers, or is he talking about the good parts of New York, where the you know, the uppity up live? You know, I don't think he's talking about us. So Eric Adams is coming in on a whole new approach. He's actually attacking these areas where we live with these individuals who want to maintain their criminal organizations. He's attacking them. He's doing it bravely. At the same time, he's also securing himself within the police force against those elements that want to remain intact. You see what I'm saying? To continue doing what they do. But let's go to some comment. Go ahead, my brother.
I think that it's a lot more dangerous for him to deal with the police aspect, because the police aspect is more of a threat. Although he's the mayor, the police got the strongest union in the country. So dealing with these gang members, not to throw shade at them, but the Crips and the Bloods, they ain't that powerful to go fighting the like police in them. So I think his job is a lot more dangerous, dealing with the inside job of the city government.
Yeah, because they can set them up. Like you were talking about the past May of 1972. You know, they know your whereabouts. They know how you move. It's nothing new. It has been done in the past. They tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan when he was president, right?
Well,
and now you're talking about
Steve,
Serpio, the former mayor.
The guy Serpico was a New York patrolman that became a detective.
Right.
But what happened was he blew the whistle on the brass.
And then the inside department went to work on him. See?
That's what I'm saying.
This is what Eric Adams is trying to protect himself from. And I think it'll be a benefit for us, you know?
Right. But see, this is the thing though, Steve. Don't forget, man, study this. The president, the police unions, they are like a strong lobby, man. They got a strong background.
Trust me, I know.
And that's why a lot of stuff in the United States hasn't that much changed, because the police unions, got power.
Yeah. And the police unions, most of them consist of those, no disrespect, those white guys live out in Long Island, Bensonhurst, right? And where they go home, they don't have all the crime and crap where they live at. It's good community, a safe community. The community is flourishing. They, in this sick way, depend on crime happening where we live at for them to have job security.
Right.
So when they're coming to work, hold on one second. When they're coming to work, I don't think the police now, right? The majority of them, especially the white ones, the racist white ones among them, I don't think when they come to work, they're coming to work with the idea to keep the place safe. I think they're coming to work with the idea, when something happens, we'll go there, we'll make an arrest if we can. If not, we'll leave it as an investigation. I think the racist elements among the police come to work with, we'll let what happens, and then we'll look into it, because we need this for job security. I send my son, my daughter, and people to college off of these N-words running around here like idiots. So we'll leave them as they are. You know?
Well, that too, but see, here's the thing, Steve. The action, and not only in NYC, but the action is in. I hate to say this, the action's in the ghetto. I mean, the actions are in these black areas. To be honest with you,
exactly.
Because where I'm at, you got in town that's not far from here. The cops, they all in town, but ain't no crimes out there in the like suburbs.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So now, here's the thing. The urban element, we're all from that. You're from that, I'm from that, everybody's from that. The urban element provides them the substance to do this shit.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Here's the problem. The police come in our area because that's the action. That's where all the action is.
Right.
If there hadn't been no action, they couldn't feed off of us like that.
Exactly. And see, that's the thing. Well, I've said in previous videos, Black people, our community has to take responsibility. We have to begin to take responsibility and accountability. and we have to get smarter. These things we know. These police don't give a damn if we destroy each other. It works for them.
They
You
don't.
see, it works for them. We have to get smarter. But what's happening now, we're in such a bad way that we have an element among us, these gangs, right, with their way of life, and they're doing what they want to do, and they have us in between a rock and a hard place. So now we can't say to them, "You guys chill out, stop doing the foolishness," because this is all a trap for you to go to jail, and it weakens our race and make us look bad because they want to do what they want to do. In the midst of that, people are being killed and hurt, innocent people. So we have no choice but to work with officials, the NYPD, that corrupt element. We've been doing that for years, right? The racist guys, and they don't really give a damn. So this is why it's even extra important now that we have Mayor Eric Adams in the chair, who's one of us, who comes from where we come from, and who has a good idea on how he wants to deal with crime. He has experience. He was 22 years a police NYPD captain, retired from that. He was a councilman. So he has the experience, So I think we as New Yorkers have to get behind this mayor, right, and stand behind him because he's fighting for us, man, and that's a fact. Let me jump into some comments real quick. We got Flo Wolf says, you have to give him a chance, but the BAF white cop may make his term bad for him. True indeed. True indeed. Stop the gangs and drill music. I agree, Flo Wolf. There's so much you can do as a black man in a white man world. That's a fact. His term may change the game out there on the streets, and that's what we're hoping for, Flo Wolf. That's what we're hoping for. The next thing was that he also wanted to bring back the plainclothes cops, and I'm thinking this is something akin to the stop and frisk unit. Actually, I'm hoping it is. Because this is out of hand. This is out of hand. I'm gonna put some videos up. I'll type them in later on, let you guys see. These kids are shooting in broad daylight, man. Go ahead, brother.
Well, down here where I'm at, it's outside of Philadelphia. It's bad down here. It's got the car jackings going on. Got the shootouts in broad daylight too down here.
Yeah.
But like Philadelphia, man, Philadelphia is a war zone.
It's universal. It's universal. It's universal among our people.
Just off the chain.
Yeah.
So it's like all these areas. But you know what, right, brother Steve? That's real strange to me, man. Think about back in the 1960s, right? Like around the Black Power era. Or the like Black Panthers and stuff like that, where it was very radical, meaning they was radical against the wrongdoing against black people, right? Notice every city that was rebelling against police brutality at that time, every city today is plagued by this uncensored violence at the hands of African American men. Ain't that strange?
It is. And this is what I'm trying to say. It was a long process. Now, we all know at the end of the day, right? We all know for a fact, if you have just an inkling, a small understanding of history in this country, we know that they laid down the blueprint for us to be in the position that we are in right now. We can trace this thing back 300, 400 years to see how they dealt with black people and people of color since we first stepped into the United States. We can see that. But we're so far removed from that now what we have to focus on now is trying to get ourselves together. You see, it's like every other race around us is doing their thing. We got so-called foreigners that have come here, and they'll be doing better than us tomorrow, right? Now, part of that is because they are assisted by this country. They get loans that we don't get. Cool. I'm not mad at any foreigner. Come in, do your thing. That's part of it. The other thing is that we've been here the longest. You see, we've been here the longest. We should be entitled to these things, but not. We have to get smarter and fight for them. We have to clean up what's wrong with us. These young boys are moving now at a pace that's we cannot have this anymore. Let me jump to real quick. Albee Square Mall. Have you ever been downtown Brooklyn, Albee Square Mall?
Yeah. Well, back in the day, I used to go down Albee Square Mall. Matter of fact, I was doing martial arts, and one of my martial arts brothers had a school in the Albee Square Mall. But I haven't been to NY in a few years, man. But I heard they tore it down, right?
Yeah. Now check this out. I say that to say, so if you know about Albee Square Mall, then you know that there's the New York Metro Tech, the college that's over there.
Right.
Okay.
Right,
now you know that area, that general area.
Yeah.
That's a very busy area.
Where the Jehovah Witness thing is, and you got the
you have the Lowe's Metropolitan, the movie theater. You have the Duffield movie. Okay, so that area is a very populated, busy area, right?
Right.
These guys are there shooting up this place in broad daylight.
Shoot? Right? Where?
I want to show you a video, right? So they all they're arrested. Yeah, these gang guys, they all got caught, they're arrested, so I'm not putting anybody in jeopardy. I'm just saying that this is the extent that we're going. This is broad daylight. Innocent college kids getting shot up and killed, right?
What?
Yeah, innocent college kid, freshman in college. I think he got killed or shot or injured or something because these gang guys, they want to go out with this foolishness, right? Now, according to de Blasio, everything's just fine. Right? If this is what de Blasio was working with. The mayor now, I'm going to show you what he was saying on this news brief here. And this is when they took these guys down, I believe, this little gang that was in Brooklyn, and where the mayor declared his war. So I'm going to play that real quick, and we'll get a chance to hear exactly what's going on.
Continuing to push, he's going to be tough on crime. Mayor Eric Adams pops up at a news conference about a gang takedown in Brooklyn.
Those who are carrying the guns, we're not using excuse for violence. We're going to partner together and take down violent people out of our city.
Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez announced the indictment of 17 alleged gang members accused.
And you see, the sad thing is the sad thing is DMR and Flo Rida. These are all black people of color. You see, these kids are no more than 15, 16 years old. No, I don't think even one of them was 17. They even have a female among them. These kids are now facing charges that can give them 25 years or life, and some can get 20 years in jail for the rest of their life because they got 4 murder raps on them as well. This is crazy.
Accused of being involved in shooting 14 people in the borough, killing 4 of them. Among the crimes, investigators allege some of them opened fire at a Sweet 16 party on Albany Avenue in November of 2020. 7 people were injured, and a 20-year-old woman visiting from Virginia was killed.
You see everyone running for their lives. While shooting, you can see the guy running away with the gun. They've already now shot a number of people.
What kind of hatred do you have in your heart like that, where you want to shoot and kill your own people? You see what I'm saying? What kind of hatred? What is in these kids that makes them want to kill their own, where they don't care about their lives? These kids are going to go to jail for the majority of their lives.
Hey, Steve, let me share something with you that happened in Philadelphia a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was a guy doing Lyft. I don't know if y'all got that up there. Lyft.
Oh, the Lyft. Yeah, we have it.
And this guy had this lady in the car, so the guy was doing a run. So these guys tapped the back of his car, and the car front blocked his car in. Yeah. So the guys got out the car. I think they had an AR-15 or something. So the guy was like, "Look, man, I'm just dropping somebody off. Hold on for a minute." So the guy had a permit to carry a firearm, and he shot both of the guys in the cars. That was shot them, and he sent them both to the hospital.
Okay.
So the police thought that the guy that was doing the shooting was the bad guy, right? But at the hospital, they found out that the 2 guys that was shot was actually the perpetrators.
Right.
So I'm saying this to say this: it's basically getting so bad out here that you were targeted. Your people, not only Steve, your people, but they had this incident where this councilman, this senator, somebody got carjacked the other day, and it was kids under 18, Steve.
Wow.
It was like 15, 14-year-old kids. They
had
firearms.
In Philadelphia?
I think it happened either down here or in Philadelphia,
Wow.
or in Jersey somewhere. And look, the lady was like a representative or something, like a high United States authority.
Right.
They carjacked her, snatched her pocketbook, stuck up her bodyguard, took his stuff, and they rode off. But they found them though. They found the guys who did it.
Right. Right. You see, this is
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's crazy, man. The level of crime that's happening out here behind these gangs, and I can almost guarantee you that was gang related. You know, these guys out here, they're very brazen. They don't have any fear. And the worst thing that happened on the streets of New York was that they took away that stop and frisk, because now they don't have any fear about carrying guns. You know, they carry them like you can carry a pack of cigarettes or something. They don't have any fear.
Yeah, but Steve, see, the thing is about up there, y'all can't bear arms up there, but down here, like in Delaware and Pennsylvania, you can. So people are beginning to bear arms, man, and like fight back. You know what I'm saying? And
that's another law. Yeah.
And the sad thing is, who's gonna be at the end of that of basically getting killed? It's gonna be either me or them young boys. Exactly. It's either gonna be either one, and it's a sad thing because we're both black.
Right. So my thing is, what's the solution here? Let's get back to the video, and then we'll talk some more about the solution, because that's what we're looking for, right?
Okay. Gonzalez showed several disturbing videos of the gun violence allegedly committed by teens, some only 15 and 16 years old. He says the Brooklyn gangs and areas around Brownsville, East New York, and Fort Greene came together to form a larger gang. They were mostly based in public housing developments. In one case, an innocent 18-year-old college student was killed at a bodega.
You see that? Innocent 18-year-old college student. Now here, DMR, this is what I'm showing you. That's why I asked you about the Albee Square Mall, and you got the colleges there. I think it's John Jay. This is that right here. Check this out.
And another video, gunfire erupts during a dispute in Metrotech in the middle of the afternoon in September of last year. An NYU student was injured. The following month, just hours before I interviewed then candidate Adams in Metrotech, there was another shooting in the middle of the afternoon in the area.
These guns were in the hands of bad people that did bad things to good people.
The new members of the NYPD executive team were at the news conference. Police Commissioner Keyshawn Sewell says the NYPD's top job is to stop violence.
There are young people who have very limited options, but we must draw a line. Gang violence will not be tolerated.
The law enforcement officials.
You know, this is disturbing for me to watch this video here of these young kids doing this on the air, you know, on social media. You know, this just shows to me, DMR, that these young kids really don't have a clue about life. They don't have any ambition. They don't have any goals. It's scary, man. It's very scary. Not because being scared of what they can do to me, but just to see the path of young people, what's on their mind today. Look at this, man.
But Steve, to add on to you, man, about the solution, man, you can't talk to these young people no more like that. So, I mean, I hate to say this, but it's going to have to take them to have to get locked up, man, and sent right to the joint, man, and just experience it. You know?
I hear you. But the thing is also, DMR, they're going to have to go to the joint, right? There's no doubt about that. Whenever you do crime, you have to go to jail. That's the way it is. When I was an idiot out there running around doing crime, I had to take a sit down too. Nobody's exempt from that. But what's going to be different now is that us, right, the adults, people like I like to say with white in the beard, you're 30, 40, 50, 60 years old. We now have to sadly come to the conclusion that we are going to have to be the ones to pick up these phones and call 911 to put these kids away. We're going to have to do that.
Yeah,
that's just the sad truth. Because if we don't assist NYPD in doing this, and we don't assist Eric Adams in doing this, more killings will happen. If you watch this video here, these kids, these are children, very young, 15, 16, murderous kids, right? I don't even know if they know what they're doing. But this is very disturbing, this image here. Very disturbing. These kids have I don't think they understand the concept that when you kill somebody and you go to jail, you're going to be there for about 25 years or more. I don't think they really have absorbed that. I think their young mind, they think that this is something fun, it's something cool to do, you know, and they don't really understand the repercussions that comes behind their actions, right? We can say that because they're children. Children should be given a second chance. But when children are out here with using deadly force like this, then it leaves us, the adults, no other option than to cooperate with the powers that be, the authorities, the police. We have to, because again, if we go out there and we combat them, right? We go out there, we kill them, we lay them down, then we go to jail. New York has like you said, you can't carry a gun here. So if you go there and you shoot them, you're going to jail. Even though you did a good thing by taking one of them off of the streets because they're in a wild state, but we're gonna go to prison for that. So the people of New York City, the grown folk, and I hope the grown folk are here listening to us tonight, because this is who I'm reaching out to. I'm reaching out to people with gray in the beard, not young people. We're going to have to step this thing up here. I'm tired of turning on my television every day. And I did a thing, DMR. I said, I'm going to watch for 3 days the news. Now, I know for a fact that almost every day somebody gets killed in New York City, right? So I said, three days I'm going to watch this thing. And that's what I did. In 3 days consecutively, murder, murder, murder. 3 days in a row. Now, tomorrow's a day. I guarantee when I wake up tomorrow, it'll be another murder. This is the way it is. Now, this is in Brooklyn where this stuff is happening, right? With these kids shooting up Albee Square. And of course, we got the big gang wars in Canarsie that happened over the Pop Smoke thing. May he rest in peace. That war has been going on for a while. But what about
where?
Yeah, in Canarsie, Brooklyn.
Canarsie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Canarsie.
Canarsie.
You've been in Canarsie before. Hey, DMR, let me tell you something. Canarsie was the Black Brady Bunch land back in the day. Black Brady Bunch. You thought that was the best? Yeah, Canarsie was beautiful, DMR. Now Canarsie it's like South Central LA with this gang stuff.
Yeah, that's
South
crazy.
Central LA. It's unbelievable. This stuff is creeping up everywhere in New York City. We're slowly but surely turning into a small Chicago. This is where the drill music is at in Canarsie. That's where the wars went on over Pop Smoke. May he rest in peace. That's still happening. You got Brooklyn. Then you got the other parts of Brooklyn that we just watched. We're not even mentioning that. Yeah, we're not even mentioning the Bronx and Queens. The same thing's happening out there. New York City is on fire. Something has to stop this. You see, something has to stop this. And this is another reason why I'm saying it's very, very important that we get behind and we stand behind this mayor, Eric Adams. Anybody that's under the sound of my voice, if you're listening to me now while we're talking live, or you will see this afterwards, take our word for it, man. You have to get behind this black mayor, Eric Adams, because he has a plan to deal with this gang violence. He's also fighting from the internal factions there. You know, he's fighting for his own safety. So we need to get behind this mayor, man. Now's a chance for us black people in New York City to really get involved and learn politics the way we should have learned them since we were younger and we didn't take the time out to do it. Now's the time to do it. But let's get back to this video and finish watching the end of it.
Officials say many of the gang members make rap videos about their violence and promote it on social media. Adams and Sewell say they want to get services those who are poor and undereducated before they turn to violence.
We will curtail gun violence, but simultaneously expand our work to reach out and collaborate to the communities we serve, to provide more choices to young people who have too few.
The DA says 5 of those indicted face up to life in prison if convicted, others up to 20 years behind bars. In Brooklyn, Dean Meminger.
You see that? They face life in prison if convicted, others up to 20 years in prison.
Life in prison.
I don't understand it to save the life of me, man. I don't. And if you saw them again in the video, how they're making these videos threatening people with the guns, they don't have a concept of what it is that's really happening, the consequences of their actions. You know, I can remember myself when I first got locked up, you know, going in the street doing crime to me was like, I was like them, right? Didn't have an idea of a consequence until I got locked up. You know, I got locked up, and I remember very distinctly. I got up that morning, and it was just surreal. I said to myself, let me get up, do what I usually do. Get up in the morning, go in the refrigerator, get me something to eat for breakfast. Instead of that, when I pull the cover up, I'm in a dormitory with 50 people, 50 kids. And that's when it smacked me. That's when the reality, boom. And I was in a place where I couldn't get out. I couldn't go home to my mother, right? I couldn't go home to my room. I couldn't go home and go in my refrigerator and make my pancakes, sausage, and eggs. Instead, I'm in a room with 50 other young boys and it's fighting and cutting. Go. See, this is where it smacks you in the face. But unfortunately for these kids, right, they're not going to face small time. These kids are facing life in prison and then 25 years on top of that, right? That's crazy. Life in prison and 20 years, matter of fact. The rest of them are facing up to 20 years in prison for their participation. So there's 4 murders there. 4 murders. The shooters are going to get, no doubt, probably life or 25 years or something like that. And the rest of them could get 20 years, up to 20 years in prison. So if they do 5, 6, 10 years, that's still a long time to do in jail.
Long time,
you know,
right.
When you're a young person. You know, it's just, you just have to think, what's in these guys' heads, man? What's in their heads? You know? It's you don't have the words. You don't have the words to say it. This is we never.
You can't. You try to talk to him, man, and it's like, you know, oh man, forget you old head, man. Ain't trying to hear that shit you talking about.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But then you know what? They want to hear it when they're behind bars now.
Yeah.
Now when they're behind bars, they're remorseful and they'll listen now, right? And now their eyes are open, they're paying attention. Now they want to find a way out.
Well,
you see?
Like you said, the small things, Steve, you getting up in the morning, getting something to eat in your place, sitting down, having your freedoms. You know, I mean, I wasn't never incarcerated like you, but I was kind of detained for a minute. And I ain't like that shit. I ain't like it.
Not at all. Not at all.
Because you know, I couldn't really move around how I felt like moving around. So from that time on, man, I said, look, man, I ain't doing that shit. So I just found me a job, stayed straight. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I don't know, man. I just think they have to go through that, Steve, experience. I mean, they're gonna have to. I mean,
they're gonna have to, because they're not going to stop doing what they're doing, right? For the first time ever since I've been alive on this earth, I'm now 49 years old. I'll be 50, God willing, come the summer.
God willing.
I've never, ever seen young people have the attitude where they disregard and disrespect older people. I've never seen it. In my day, we respected the older G's. You looked at, that's some old G's, man. And the thing was, we saw the older people in the community like our next of kin to parents. You know what I mean? Right. And the older guys are straightening you out, man. Look, you're doing something wrong. I'm gonna F you up and take you to your moms and your pops, and they're gonna whip your behind too. You know, so we saw the older people, we had that reverence and that respect, you know, for the older people. But these kids now, they don't want to hear nothing from an older guy or woman.
No.
And if you like that, then you won't have the guidance. Because it's the older people that have the guidance and the wisdom, right? You ain't no way you're going to be stirred straight if you're not going to learn from somebody that has been through this and can tell you about it. You say, get the hell out of here. Now you're definitely heading down the wrong road, and you have no guidance.
So, Steve, let me ask you this then. So if they cross that threshold, right? Well, what and I'm not asking you this as an older guy around the same age as me. How do we remain to have that respect for them? If you're going to violate everything in the book, every code in the book, then do you feel sorry for them, or like what? Like how you?
My thing is this. And I can say this, DMR, because I was in a certain situation like that when I was young. So I understand the young energy to a certain extent. Today, they're much more violent today, right? They're worse than we were. When we were outside roaming the streets, We used to, at best, beat people up and steal stuff out of the store, stuff like that. But these kids they're using deadly force. They have no fear about killing somebody. They have no fear of consequences. So I say to that, your question, of course, I love them. We love them. They're from us. They're our kin. They're our people, right? But when a person is in a state of mind where they can't be talked to, they can't be reasoned with, and they want to keep committing these same actions that are detrimental to the rest of us, not just themselves, but their actions are detrimental to the community. DMR, I'll tell you like this. You have to think of them like how Jesus said in the Bible. That's the way I look at it, right? Jesus Christ said in the Bible, he said, if your right eye offendeth thee, pluck it out and cast it away from you. For it is better for you to lose your right eye than to keep it, and then it defiles the rest of your body. Now he's speaking. Yeah, he's speaking. He's speaking symbolically, right? So the body is the community of people. If a certain part of the community is foul and poison, and if it stays around you, it corrupts and causes heartbreak and pain to the rest of the community. You got to get them away from you, cast it away from you, because it's better for them to be away from you than to corrupt and to harm or everybody else.
Exactly. And Steve, let me add this real quick. I remember that you said something in your podcast a while back about you seeing white supremacy at a certain level being locked up, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
These kids haven't really dealt with the white supremacy.
No, they haven't seen that yet.
They're going to see that when they're incarcerated with Officer Charlie, and he whipped that ass.
He whipped that ass up there.
And he gonna be beating your ass every day.
There you go.
I mean, you have the opportunity, man, not to go down that route like y'all say, like, brother, like OG say, and you say, you know what I'm saying? It's like this. Oh, now go ahead.
What was I going to say? You know what it's like, man. I'll tell you another story. One time when I was locked up, right? Now I'm up north, and I'm in, what is that place called? Downstate Correctional Facility. Now this was a place where we used to go for reception. So I was sentenced to a 3 years flat. Out of that, I did 22 months. You CR on 22 months. You come home with 2-3 months parole. I had a gun charge, right? So I'm going from Rikers Island, from the 4 building, on the bus to Downstate. Now I'm going to show you. I say this to say, understanding how those police up there in these prisons have absolute control, and they will break you. I don't give a damn what kind of gangster you think you are. They will break you. Here's a prime example. I get into Downstate. The first day we get there, DMR, I put this on my mother. We come into the cell in Downstate. We're sitting there. We're told to be quiet. There's 3 guys there. Oh, man, F that. I'm from New York. I don't give a fuck. That, man, fuck everything. Yada, 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 yada. Running their mouth. And then they're in there starting trouble with the other inmates. Okay. So there was a black guard at Downstate at that time. And not to be funny, he looked like, I don't know how you describe him, man. He's a black guy. He's country as hell. He's like a little droopy dog. Or something.
Sergeant Woods from the job.
Yeah, something like that, right? He like, y'all, he said, I done told y'all to keep it down here now. So the 3 guys causing trouble. They're like, man, F you, get the F out. It was funny looking. He's like, all right. The dude came in and opened up the cell, DMR, and he called for backup.
Right.
I promise you on my mother, resting in her grave, a big old country white boy came in that cell, DMR. And that man, I'd never seen a dude so big in my life. He was like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. And his arms, man, the man's muscle was like this. His neck. And he had one of them short mustaches with the hair back and a little tail on the back. And he was like, get the hell up right now. And he expressed his authority. Like he made you feel it. Get the hell up now. Get the F against the wall, right? So now here go one of the guys that was in there he's from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. I don't give a fuck. So the CO's telling everybody, if I hear a sound, I'm going to slap the S out of you. So this guy has balls. He turns around, DMR, The guy from Brooklyn, big old guy, thinking, man, F you, who the hell you think you talking about? Now, we all on the wall. Nobody turned around. All you heard was pow and pow. That big white boy took his hand, open hand, smacked the hell out of that guy. So he hit the ground so hard. Now, he went from being a hard rock, man, F that, when he hit the ground, you know what we heard? I swear on my mother, man. And after that, he got his behind up, and he fell in line, and he complied. You see? So this is what these young guys need to learn. If you want to act like an animal out here, there's a place where they will put you, right? Where if you act like an animal, they will deal with you. It's better for you little young boys to stay out here on these streets in civilization than to be put away in a place where people are trained to deal with you. And now you're up here and you're under the control of this racist element. That's another thing, right?
And to add on to this, you got to keep in mind, Mr. Biden is going to sign a crime bill soon, and don't forget, he's taking account of all this.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It ain't just NYC. You got Philadelphia, Wilmington, Delaware, Memphis, LA. You have the whole country up in flames now. He's going to start implementing some real serious, harsh penalties.
And not only that, DMR, Joe Biden, his claim to fame was for crime. That was one of the ways in which he ran to get into the presidency before he found out, let me go to the black people and grease them up so they can vote for me. Remember when he first started running, what did he say? He said, yes, I know that they come from neighborhoods where there's poverty and there's crime and they're underprivileged, but I would rather put you in jail, right, than to have you, because you live in that way, do something to my family. He was very tough on crime, Joe Biden, right? Yeah. So we have a mayor that's tough on crime. He's from us. I like it. But Joe Biden is another story altogether. Hold on, we got a caller here. Hold on, we got a caller here. Hero Farm Podcast. How you doing? Talk to us.
What's good? What's good, Steve?
Hey, Bamboo, my man. What's happening, brother?
What's the word? DMR, what's up?
Hey, brother. How you doing, man? How you doing, Bamboo?
I hear y'all subject today. Y'all topic. Y'all talking about the mayor.
Yes, sir. What'd you think? What'd you think about him? Bamboo.
Just how I feel about the situation. At first, he was an ex-NYPD cop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I said, damn, this nigga in the office, he gonna have shit on lock. But it seemed like since he got in the office, the crime been going, even though it's been a week or whatever, too. But it seemed like the crime rate been going up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It seemed like, every time you turn news, they putting in work in Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens.
Right.
And it's like, and then he keep putting on a show, saying, oh, what I'm going to do, I'm going to reward this gang. The only thing he's doing is making these dudes mad. Because they're going to show you don't got no control over the city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I hope, Steve, I hope he do a good job. You know what I'm saying? I hope he do a good job.
Yeah.
But it seems like to me it's out of hand right now.
Yeah. He has a lot of work cut out for him. It's no doubt. But like you said, it's early. He's like a week and some change in. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, matter of fact. He's like 2 weeks in. So he has a lot of work to do. Right now, he's in the midst of putting together the people he want in place. You know what I mean?
But if he's trying to pull that move like they did in the early 90s, like putting the D's inside the building and all that, plain coats, man, that's gonna be work. Because now what you're doing is these niggas can't hustle no more.
Yeah.
These niggas can't feed their kids no more, so that's gonna be more problems.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but how do you look at that when you weigh it against the crime that's happening, the murders that are occurring, and the innocent people that are being shot? Is it worth it, him putting out the plainclothes unit because of what's happening out here?
I'm saying everything will be good. Anything that could solve the crimes and the crime rate and the murder and the shooting could go down, it'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be very good. But remember, right, you know what I'm saying? Me and you ain't new to this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We done saw this shit over and over how shit play out.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's gonna be some powerful days ahead. You know what I mean? There's some powerful days coming ahead. So
see, his strategy is to do what he did when he was in NYPD.
Right.
That was the fourth.
Right.
And he trying to apply that to the street, which is not gonna work. It's not gonna work because, like I said, these young boys out here, they what, 16, what, 25?
Yeah.
They could do 15. And to tell the truth, Steve, they don't have nothing to live for.
Yeah,
they don't have. These dudes, they out here, they not driving, they not working, they not taking care of their kids if they got kids. They mothers is crackhead. You know what I'm saying? Their daddy's not around. So, like I said, they looking for a name. And no matter how much you talk about it, it's not going to change. They're going to say, you got little niggas right now probably running around as we doing this podcast right now with guns on them.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
To make the next crime.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Definitely. That's definitely going on out there. But Bamboo, it's going to be some hard days coming up, man. I can guarantee you that, because I do think he's committed to crime. You know what I mean? I do think when he gets his cabinet together, he get all the pieces together, I think he'll make his move after that. You know, but we just got to keep our eyes pasted on it, hope for the best, hope these little kids will wake up, man, and stop this nonsense. You know, so we can move on as a people, man. But Bamboo, definitely appreciate you calling in, man.
You're ready. Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year, my good
All right,
brother.
Bamboo.
Happy New Year, man. All right, brother. Be good, man.
Bro.
Peace and love. Peace and love. That's the brother on the check-in, Bamboo, man. Thank him for that call. Right. So we got the brother here. He called in with his opinion. Anybody else want to call in with some feedback or your opinions, right? How you feel about this situation? The Mayor Eric Adams declaring war on these gangs. Is it going to make things good, or is it going to make it worse out here on the street? Do you think there's going to be more killing at the hands of the NYPD on these black youth? Do you think that that's possible? And even if it does happen, even if the NYPD has to use deadly force against these young boys, and we all mad about it, we don't like it, I want you to weigh that up against what they're doing to each other every day without the NYPD being there, and what's happening to other people based on their actions, right? Because the killings that are taking place, it's not right now, it's not white on black, it's black on black.
Black on black, yeah.
It's black on black crime that's taking place. This is the black on black crime right now is responsible for more black people dying than anything else right now. So if we don't bring the NYPD in, we don't follow Eric Mayor's plan, what do? We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. We have to sit in our homes and keep watching the news that somebody else got killed, an innocent bystander got hit, a baby got shot, a girl in a Burger King holdup got murdered on 125th Street 2 days ago. We're going to keep hearing this. So what do we do? What do we do? My thing is we get behind this mayor. At least that's something. It's a step moving forward. It might end up being disastrous. Who knows? But it's something moving forward. Right? There you go. And you young brothers out there, if you're listening to us on this podcast, we bid you, I beg you, man, even if you're living in a life where you think that there's no tomorrow, there's always hope. There's always hope. It just depends on what you have in your mind. Your mind is everything. If your mind is good, everything else is good, man. Right? Be patient. You don't have to have the $1,000 sneakers and the $1 million pants and chain. This is all coming from this nonsensical hip hop nonsense. Right. Take your time, be patient. If you're 17, 18 years old, you're not in school, you're not working, you find yourself walking around not doing nothing. Hey, man, go onto the internet. Look at the jobs. Apply for the MTA. Take the test for the MTA. Right? You can do that. You can that's driving a New York City bus or train conductor. You know, Long Island Railroad, Metro North. You take the test, you wait a few months or couple of weeks, you get your results back. You don't need a high school diploma, a GED, nothing like that. You take the test and you go in there and you get your job. Mm-hmm. There's opportunity. It's just that you guys have to clean up your mind. If you think that you can't walk out your door because you don't have on a pair of $700 Yeezys on your feet and a $1,000 belt, something's wrong with your thinking. Because now you're going to take it upon yourself to go out here and take penitentiary chances to try and acquire these things. And you're going to find yourself in prison. And once you go through that door in prison, that's it.
Or they're going to find themselves dead, someone shot dead in the street.
Shot dead in the street. Let's go to some comments. We got Shy Rocks. I'm absolutely for Adams. He may get these streets safer. I feel the same way, Shy Rocks. Thanks for being here, sister, and Happy New Year to you. Flo Wolf says the street is boot camp, then they graduate straight to jail. Exactly. Hey, Flo Wolf, this is the paradigm. This is the way this thing goes from my time when I was out there in the street. You know about that DMR people you saw in your neighborhood, right? I'm gonna tell you what happened in my neighborhood when I was growing up. You see it, right? So I grew up in my neighborhood. Well, I grew up in Far Rockaway, Queens. We all went to school as kids. We played basketball. We had dreams and aspirations, right? I wanted to be an NBA player. I was good playing ball. But now at a certain level, and I noticed that it was at the high school level for me. When I went from junior high to high school, and actually the kids that were older than us went from junior high to high school. Now we're beginning to see them as I'm coming out from the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade going to high school. They're 2 or 3 grades ahead of me. They live in the neighborhood. But when they get into high school, all of a sudden, instead of going to school, you see them hanging out in the lobbies of the project buildings, right? They're smoking blunts. They're not going to school anymore. They're selling drugs, weed, and everything like that. So when I got to the position where it was time for me to get to high school and do my thing there, I thought that I was going to end up like the rest of them. I'm like, well, that's not going to happen because the kids in my life, this is what we do. High school, like F high school. Then we end up in the lobby. That's what I did. That's what happened, because the example was when you get to a certain phase, it seemed like when you got to that high school phase, now it's drop out of school, stand in the lobby, sell weed, drink beer, smoke weed, try to get girls and go to house parties. So I didn't feel any different when I dropped out of high school. I was like, well, this is what is supposed to happen. But the thing that was so bad is that after that DMR, I didn't have any kind of way to think in my mind, like, what am I going to do with my life? Because nobody else had no idea about what to do with their life. The majority of those guys, including myself, ended up going to jail. Some of them died, right? Some of them now were living, just hanging on, trying to make it. But this is what occurs in the ghetto, and it's still happening now. Like with this comment, she says, Flo Wolf says the street is boot camp, then they graduate straight to jail. That's what's happening even now. We have to find a way to break this cycle, right, in our Black community. So Flo Wolf says laws are going to change under the new president and Vice President Harris. That's right. That's right. That's for sure. Shyrock says it. Go ahead, Flo Wolf. I mean, DMR.
Like you said, Steve, I grew up similar to you, and I didn't have my father in my teen years, so my pop wasn't there to teach me about the birds and the bees. So I had to learn about that on the street. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn how to fight and all that on the street. So I did go to high school. I graduated, but high school really didn't teach me anything about counting money and reading. That's all it basically taught me. So I had boxed. I used to box. You know what I'm saying? And I did fairly good, man. But I didn't really realize I could make money off of boxing. So I kind of faded off. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we came up in the same era as far as the hip hop era, back in the breakdancing crews that we had going on, the house parties. And, I just want to add too, man, and I'm not going to throw any shade about anybody in particular, but a lot of us during that time, Steve, like growing up in the 80s and the early 90s, remember a lot of these kids, their mothers and their fathers was around our age, right? Or a little younger than us. Look at it now. So the same guy that I went to school with that was going back and forth to jail, he had 5 baby mothers, and he had about 9 kids.
Wow.
Okay. So I'm just saying, look at the stuff that's being manifest now. You see what I'm saying? Like, it started back in them days and it just added up until now.
Right, right.
You know,
the same current. It's the same flow. It's the same.
Same flow. And it's a lot of these kids, man. I knew a boy that I used to drive the school bus with, Steve, little dude, right? I used to see him all the time. He just got killed last year, and his mom died 2 weeks after he died.
Wow, man. Wow. It's crazy.
And she had a lot of children, man. Okay, so think about the stress that's going to put on her mom, which is their grandmother.
Right, right, exactly. You know, it's this thing, man. It's sad that it's universal among Black people here in America. I think any of the 50 states that you go through and you look at the condition of Black people, it's the same thing, man, for the most part. The same crime, the same poverty, the same drugs, the same. And DMR, I can't help but think, man, that it's this hip hop music. That's what's causing these kids in every state and the Black race in general to fall down.
That's Steve. You can't even call it hip hop no more.
No, what they got now is not hip hop.
You gotta call it something totally different.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But even in our time, the music was it was corrupt as well. You know, we just didn't know any better. But let me check out.
No, Steve. Later on.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Later, you know. Yeah.
Flo Wolf says the cleanup will have the jail full, and that's what they're counting on. Because at the end of this, it's all strategy anyway. The powers that be, they know that they're going to fill these jails up. They know that, you know. Shyrock says we have to try something different. If it works, it works. So no doubt, Shyrocks. And I think she's referring to going down that avenue of us older people. And everybody that's in this room, if you're watching this live now, you see it later. I'm suggesting again to grown folk with white in the beard, you're 40 years old, you're 50 years old, 30 years old. The new way to deal with our people that are out of line, these young boys in the street with these gangs and this and that, we have to now begin to comply with law enforcement. I say it. I've said it in the past. I'm going to say it again. Because we can't live with each other, right? We can't be safe. If we can't be safe in our neighborhoods and the threat is coming from our own, something's wrong with that, man. I don't want to live in a place where I take my little child out, I'm walking to the store, I send my daughter to the grocery store and she get hit upside her head with a bullet that got nothing to do with her. Because you got a bunch of dudes out here that want to live a way of life where they're trying to be gangsters and be tough. You see, I'd rather see them go to jail than to see myself lose my family member or somebody I love. You know, that's just it. Shyrock says next it should be a censorship on drill music. Shyrocks, you know, oh man, I want to do this right here so bad. Let me see, because I love this. I love what Shyrock says. It just said here. There should be a ban on drill music. She's 100% right. There should be some censorship on drill music. And Shyrocks, if you're still here, the UN has done this. Great Britain, DMR, Great Britain has now made it so that if you want to be a rapper of drill music in England, you have to get permission from the police. You see, the artist has to take his music to the police or somebody in authority. They have to listen to it. And then if it passes the test, the music can come out. Now, this happened because the gang culture went to Great Britain, right? The Chicago movement with this drill music that permeated New York City, came here and took over New York, and now has went to Great Britain. So in Great Britain, who's a country that's not used to having so much crime like that, now are experiencing crime. The gangs specifically, the music went over there. And it created a way of life where now our British Black brothers and sisters are now want to be gangsters, and they're sitting up on the stage doing all this music, drill rap, like the people are here in the United States. So they are over there committing crimes, DMR. I'm going to show you next time.
But it's something that you're saying in this that's very deep. Pay attention to all that you say. There's one thing that you didn't hit on. What is causing this? Yeah, it's the drill music.
Yeah.
Look at the people that are following them, right? That goes to show you the influence that these young people have, man. They just got to take it in a certain direction, and they got to move this thing into the positive. See, you got potential. You just doing it in the wrong avenue.
But DMR, not to cut you off, what's worse than that is you're right. The influence they have is crazy, right?
Yeah.
If they took it in the right direction, then things would be better. But guess what, DMR? Now here comes the problem. You and I know that. But if we approach them and say, yo, look, young blood, you doing it? Oh, you old ass. Get on out of here. You see? We don't want to hear you. Get the F. So we're stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Because they're not playing with the OGs, these young boys outside. They're not playing with you, man. You go out there, these dudes will cap you down, man. So you have to be prepared when you go on them streets. Either you're gonna kill me or I'm gonna kill you. That's the way it is.
That's what that's what we don't want to happen, man. But
we don't want that to happen. Exactly.
You know, people trying to survive and protect their families, man. You know,
and that's why,
you have
we said
no other choice to protect you and your family. You know what I mean?
And that's why we said the saying of Christ: if your right eye offend, if you pluck it out and get rid of it, it's better for you to get rid of that than for your whole body to be defiled. But Great Britain, again, Shyrox, if you're still listening, Great Britain has that same censorship, and it's sad because they had incidents that came into that country where they're seeing more violence from black people involved in drill music. They're going down with knives. They have butcher knives and bats running over to another section of Great Britain where they had rival gang members, where they attacked them with these bats and knives. Now, this didn't start happening in Great Britain until the drill music came in there. See? Great Britain had the good sense to ban it, to censor it. And right now, the rappers of this drill music in Great Britain cannot put out any music unless it goes through law enforcement. They have to give their demos or their work to the police or some other government official. They have to listen to the lyrics. And if the lyrics are okay, then they say, okay, you can put it out. If not, it's not going out. They're doing this to preserve their societies. And I think that's damn smart on their part. We should do the same thing here.
But see, Steve, that's not going to happen here. Why?
No.
Don't forget, the music industry about that money. They don't give a damn about lives being lost. They care about that money.
As well as the prison complex.
Right. See, so if you see, that's the difference between over here and over there. America want that money and they want that prison pipeline to give free labor. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's all a game. It's all a game. And these young boys and these young girls is pawns in the game, not realizing at the end of the day, you're going to get checkmated.
That's it, man.
You see what I'm saying?
So let's go back to some comments. We got Flowwolf says, stop drill music. Life is not the music. Laughies, flash money, and big house and cars. Exactly, Flowwolf. Stop following the Joneses. Yep, seen the same thing in my hood. Okay, Flowwolf says, I went to college and came back, and they still was doing the same thing, or in jail or dead. That's what's happening out here in these streets. It's like once we get caught up in that pattern of being in the street, not knowing which way to look to go with your life, and you're just following the streets and you ended up in crime, it's like most of us stay there. And I'm going to tell you something, man. I didn't come out of that pattern, man, until I was like 30 years old, man. Until I was like 30 years old. You know, I was still out there 27, 28, 29, I'll say, about 29. That's when I stopped living that way. You know, it's crazy, man. Global says, yes, Beat Street Days. UK put a stop to the BS. That's right. If they can do it, why can't we with the drill music? Exactly. And the only thing about that, Flo Wolf, is this. Like we just said, America is a capitalist country, right? America cares about money. She doesn't care about people too tough. The only time America would do something for people is if she's benefiting off of it, right? The citizens, the capitalists that run this country don't care about the citizens. That's just it. They want to fill the. Go ahead,
Steve, let me tell Flo Wolf this. Hey, Flo Wolf, they don't got no guns over in England. So Steve said earlier about them having bats and knives. They have bats and knives and they got acid. That's their form of how they fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what like Steve was saying is true. They not stopping it over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not going to stop it because they want to continue to make the money. You see, so everybody gets paid off of this. And if you young boys are listening, please hear my words, man. These people are getting paid off of us, right? You think about it. I'm almost a 50-year-old man. Most of you guys are 16. I'm old enough to be your father, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went through this, my generation before that, and all in between. They made money off of us and our stupidity as we ran around the street trying to be gangsters, selling drugs. They knew we were going to be ending up into the jailhouse. They knew that. That's why they leave certain things the way they are. So when you guys are out here gang banging, selling drugs, fighting over a neighborhood that you think is yours, but it's really not, they know where you're going to end up. So now you can add a third business on that's making money, DMR. Yesterday, it was the jailhouses, right? We said it was the jailhouses and something else, but here's another business that's making money now. It's the funeral homes.
Oh, sure.
The funeral homes now. Business is booming. Business is booming. Because now we added on that other element where it's gotten worse and the murder rate is higher. So now the funeral homes are making buku dollars off of our deaths.
Listen, five people get knocked off in a week. Do you know how much cash that is?
Man, let me tell you something. Just to have a average.
That's like almost $80,000, man.
Yeah. Up here in New York City, to have an average funeral, when my mother passed, I paid $7,000 for her to be put away. That was in 2012. So that's the least amount.
Yeah.
The least amount.
Yes, Steve. My mom died in 2003, and down here, I buried my mom with six G's back. Right back then. Think about now.
So everybody's making money in America, in this being the capitalist society that it is, will allow that to continue to happen because they're concerned with money and not people. You see? So again, it means that we have to be smart enough. We, the people, have to be smart enough. You young boys out there, listen to these words that we're saying to you, man, before you find yourself in a place where you don't want to be and you cannot help yourself. A good example is the young kid, K Flock, the rapper. Did you hear about him? DMR, young boy, come out the Bronx, 18 years old.
No.
He actually got a record deal. I think it was up to $1 million or something. He performed on a stage. He got paid for that. So he comes out of a place in the Bronx, a project area or a ghetto area. His whole team was counting on him to get them out of the hood. He had it. Right. He made it. But because he couldn't come out of his mind, couldn't come out of the street, he is a rapper that's signed with money, still in the projects. The guy he's accused of killing, he went and made a video of him having the gun and I'm going to get my ops and this and that. And on the picture there, on the camera, catch him going down the street and the other kid gets killed. Now he's picked up for murder. 18 years old.
And he's the dude that had the deal?
He's the guy that had the record deal. He was out of this thing. He was gone.
So now he's going to be a Rikers Island. Then he's going to go upstate.
Yeah.
He's done.
He's done. 18 years old, bro. 18. Got a record deal.
Damn.
See, this is the mindset of these kids.
That's some deep shit.
Nobody around him thought any better. Yo, bro, wait a minute. No, you making that money. You leave this alone. They all like, nah, F that. We're going to keep the same thing, go the same energy. They don't have any concept of consequence. I don't think they know the seriousness of their actions. Like, I've never seen this before. And then it makes you say to yourself, well, where the hell are the parents? Where are the parents at? What are the parents doing with these kids? It makes you think that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Shyrock says, I'm happy it started somewhere. Flo Wolf says, the artists should change their game. You have the form, use it to make change, no doubt. Radio stations should stop playing it, but they lose money. That's what it's all about right there, dollar bill. Money on prisoners too, that's a fact. Flo Wolf says, what? And now Shyrock says, this is excellent content. I shared it in Eric Adams' day. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shyrox. Appreciate you, sister. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, so this is just what it is. Flo Wolf says, okay, got it. Capitalism is a MFer, no doubt. Folks don't it. I'm not sure what that says, Flo Wolf. All right. She says funeral homes making money and black family don't have no money. Exactly. My dad funeral 05 was $8,000. Then 09, my mom funeral was 10. Wow. You see? So that's what it is out here. Everybody's making money off of us. The prison complex is making money. Now the funeral homes are making money. Somewhere this thing has to stop, man. This thing has to stop. And again, everybody right now that's participating in this live, that's watching, if you're a person who is of age, I would like to petition you to follow what we're trying to lay down here in this blueprint. The time now is for us to get out of that old way of thinking. I'm a thug. I'm a this. And I can't pick up the phone calls. I'm a real right nigga. And man, leave that alone, bro. Leave that alone. We are in a dire situation here. We have to comply with the NYPD, man, when it comes to combating gang violence and these little kids out here that are from among us. We love them. It's going to hurt our hearts. But I'd rather see them sit down and take a seat somewhere so they can get their minds together than to keep seeing them terrorize the streets and innocent people getting killed and other little children. Because these are all little kids. They're killing each other at 14, 15, 16, 17 years old.
Half of these dudes can't read, man, the damn paragraph, and they got 45 pistols and Glock 19s and AR assault rifles and all this other crazy shit.
These kids have access to guns today like I've never seen.
But see, here's the thing, man, what a lot of people don't understand. I'm going to basically say this. Mm-hmm. These guys can't go in no gun store and buy no firearms.
No, not at all.
What they do, they got these rogue, illegal federal gun dudes running around here. They got firearms, selling defective guns, following the serial number. So if you get that same gun, you pass it to 15 people. The dude that get caught with that gun, he got all of them bodies. He ain't never getting out of jail.
Wow.
You see? Okay, so just to let people know, they not going to those stores buying no firearms. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. No, they're definitely not doing that. It's definitely coming from some place. And that's another whole live that I want to do later on, talking about how is it that there seems to be a tap open where these guns are just running out into the streets so loosely. Another place, like we said before, DMR, and to me, you can see the enemy for what he really is if you understand this right here. The move that mayor made down in, what did we say that was? Memphis, Tennessee. The move that mayor made down there. Now, we have to understand what's happening already down there. There's gang violence in Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee already. Bloods and Crips fighting each other, killing each other. And it accelerated more when the Young Dolph murder took place. It accelerated, right?
That's crazy.
See, sometimes when your enemy wants to hurt you, he'll give you something that seems to be nice. And you say, hey, man, this is a great thing here. But behind that thing is all the evil and deception that you ever want to see. So now the mayor, check it out, Demon. Now the mayor of Tennessee goes and says this. I now make it into law that you don't even have to have a license, the carrier's license to carry a gun in my state of Tennessee. All you have to do is be 18, I believe that's the age, and you have no violent felonies. Now, that may sound good for the people in states that are used to carrying guns. All right, well, we carry guns anyway. But to somebody like me, right, I come from New York, the mecca of the hustle. I know what this means, right? I know what this means. I know that dudes that think about hustling, they are now going to pack their bags and head to Tennessee. And they're going to get citizenship, residency down there by staying there for a couple of weeks and say, I've been down here about 8 months. And they're going to get that Tennessee ID card. and they're gonna walk in them stores and they're gonna
Right.
buy these guns in bulk.
Yeah. You
And
right.
they're gonna be
You
trafficking these guns all up and down the
You
coast.
right, Steve.
It's
Yup.
not
Yup.
it's not just New York City. It's hustlers in
That's not
all the
good,
50
man.
states.
That's
So now
not good.
for the first time in history, we can say that we have a place now where we know the guns are coming out of. Before it's under the table, but now it seems to be something good. You see, it's a carry
That's not
state.
good.
You need no license. But for the guy like us who come from the ghetto, we know what this means. You don't think guys from New York done packed up and went down there and done bought buku guns and came up here and sell them up in New York City, Detroit, Chicago, all over the coast, all over the 50 states? Of course. And then you got other guys, hustlers from other states doing the same thing. This is why one of the reasons why these kids have so many guns. They got them like you got freaking candy out of the candy shop, bro. I've never seen so many guns at one time floating around on the streets.
So then check this out. You got guns equal self-hatred, equal ignorance. What you have? Chaos.
You have chaos, right? And you have genocide. That's what you have.
Now, check this out, Steve. It's a sad thing, Memphis, Tennessee, and I said this earlier. Who got killed in Memphis back in 1968?
Dr. Martin Luther King. Yep.
Look at Memphis, Tennessee right now.
Yeah.
Every place you had strong people that was doing something, it spiraled downwards. It didn't spiral forward.
The enemy gonna make sure he make a fool out of you. See?
What was Dr. King there for? He was there for the sanitation workers, the guy that got killed in the back of the truck that was sleeping, and then they killed him. He was sent down there for that. That was Memphis, Tennessee.
Yep.
That was Memphis, Tennessee, y'all. Yeah. So think about the stuff I'm saying. I'm trying to bring this in a full circle here.
That's what's happening.
To show you that their great grandmoms will be turned over in their grave right now, seeing them acting like this.
But see, your enemy is so cunning and so sly and so slick. You see? Memphis, Tennessee was the great movement where our great leader, Dr. King, was killed at. And he knows that, now he knows that back in the day, our black people striving for freedom, and we were decent, righteous people. We weren't on drugs and gangbanging. So now he wants to assist you to show you, look, years later, I'll corrupt you anyway because of your foolish ways and actions. You see? Now I'll allow you to go buy the guns without a license, right? I'll put that in the law because you young boys are down here with this stupid ass gang banging bullshit, killing each other. I'll allow you to go in there and buy the guns to annihilate your goddamn selves, to show you for what Dr. King almost did down here years ago, to show you niggas what we think of you. I'll write it into law something that looks good to you, but it's design. The design of it is much more dangerous than you can see. You see, this is the way the enemy moves. He's very crafty, very, very crafty, sneaky. This is what the Quran says. We call that the shaitan, the devil.
Shaitan, yeah.
That's what your enemy does, and we're not smart enough to pick up on this. And this is why you have to have the leadership of older people who can see a little bit further. You young boys out there, right? You have to have leadership. You have to take people, your old guys. I don't like the word OG. But the elders among you, the ones that you find that are talking, that you hear from them and they sound like they're sincere and they are qualified to tell you a good thing. Take it from them, man. Take it from them. Don't disrespect your elders, man. The ones that deserve your attention. True, you got some effed up older people out here that are doing whatever. But when you see older guys that are sincere and that are telling you something because they've been there, and they sincerely care about you, respect your elder, man. Respect that elder, man. Your days will be longer upon the earth. That's what God wrote in the Bible, man. Respect your parents, meaning respect your elders, so that your days will be longer upon this earth. Let's jump back into some more comments. Okay. So it says funeral homes making money and black family don't have no money. Okay, we read that already. Let me go to the bottom. Criminals are getting younger and younger. Indeed. On guns, I feel the government pay for some and give some to make back. Just like drugs, you stop some and you let some pass so you can keep the money flowing. Hey, Flo Wolf, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Now we're delving into something called conspiracy, but what you're saying is 100% right. See, this is what I mean. There's people who can see, who only see the outlining, and then there's people who can see. You see what I'm saying? The person who sees, he or she not gonna see what you just wrote right here. You sell some and you put some out there to make some money. The guy who cannot see, he only sees what's in front of him, the picture. That's all he can see. He can't see what's behind the picture. And this is why when you find people that are like that can, you have to respect it. You know what I mean? You have to respect it. So Wolf says, whenever we get a leader, they kill them off. Exactly. There is no more big mamas. Exactly. Go ahead, DMR. What you gonna say, bro?
Going back what the last brother said about leaders, we never had a leader in this 21st century, because in the latter half of the 20th century, the last legitimate leader that we had was Dr. King. Then after him, Fred Hampton got killed. After that, J. Edgar Hoover said this. He said, there will never be another Black Moses until we make him.
Until we make him.
And I hate to say it. I hate to say this, but he was correct.
There'll never be another Black Messiah unless we send him to him.
And now here's the thing, man. Black people got to get out of that looking for a leader. You see what I'm saying?
Just about Black to say people, that, dear. Well,
Black people are leaders. We are all leaders in our own right. And one thing that you can make certain is that you have the ability to choose right from wrong, as you say, Steve. You have the ability to choose, am I going to go bang this dude or what? Or am I going to go talk to him like a man and like air out our differences, talking it out rather than banging it out?
Exactly.
That's where you got to start at, man.
Yeah. You know, it's just crazy, man. The young boy, it's hard to talk to them in that way too, because they so up, some rambunctious, and they don't think as an adult. So it's hard to really sit there and expect them to make adult decisions. I just want you young guys to realize something, right? When you make a decision in life and you commit a crime, a grave crime, where you violated someone else, like you've taken somebody's life or something like that, the court system's not going to have pity on you. They're going to charge you for that crime and they're going to lock you up. You're not going to have the comfort of your mother and your father when it comes to that. They can't do anything for you. So be wise. Be very, very wise. When you think about gang banging, before you go out there to go get in that set and try to become a gang member, I want you to say to yourself, why in the world would I want to get involved in something that's designed to bring hell and chaos to my life? Why should I do that? If I go out here and I get involved with the gang and me and the gang have to put in some work and we kill people, whatever, if I get caught, I'm going to jail for 25 years of my life. Is that something that I want to be involved in? You young boys, before you make the decision to go out there and to join these gangs, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Yeah, you can make a little money. They got the block seem to be on lockdown. You can go out there, you can do this, and they telling you it's this and it's that. We're brotherhood, and you take an oath and all this. But at the end of the day, the stuff that you're going to be involved in is going to be designed to ruin your life and to cause you to end up in the worst possible position that you can end up in your life. Why would you want to put yourself in a position like that? Does that make sense? Ask yourself these questions, young boys, before you go out there. You look at the TV, you look at the news, you see how the killings are going. You see that these guys are getting busted. You hear about the time they're about to face at their young age, 15, 16. Half of these guys, you'll never touch a woman again. You won't touch a woman at least for 20, 25 years out of your life. You won't attend a graduation. You won't go to college. You won't have kids. You won't have any grandkids. You won't have any money. No bank account. Nothing. No pension. No plan. When you go to jail, most of your people you're going to lose. 25 years, you're going to lose your mother. She's going to die. Your father's going to die. Your cousin, aunts, sisters. When you come home, you probably come home to nothing, to a halfway house. You got to start all over again. Think about that. Is it worth it? Does it make sense for you to join such an organization that can bring all of those plagues to you? Think, young boys, think. You're not here to give your life away. You're here to live life. Be fruitful and multiply, like the Bible says. You're not here to give your life away. Just think first before you move, man. Let's get to some of the comments. Flowwolf says, there is no big mamas, no doubt. And we got, the devil is active. And if we don't wake up, we will be slaves. That's what's coming next. Okay, I don't know what that means, but thank you for being here. Flowwolf says, preach, brother. Hell on earth if we don't stop. That's what we're coming to. Cosmology Bay says, gems, no doubt. Thank you, Cosmology Bay. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. So yeah, Mom, man, I thank you for being here. I'm about to wrap up in a minute. We've been talking here for about an hour and 40 minutes. You know, but it's just something.
Brother Steve, thank you, brother.
Hey,
I appreciate you, man.
Saying likewise, man. Likewise, you know, we got to try and do something, Flowwolf. You know, we can't do much. We ain't got money and power, you know, but we got our experiences, and we have what do you call concern and care. You know, it hurts my heart to see my young boys, my young people that Black, and they come from me. You know, they're the same as I am, to be out here throwing their life away when I know the other side of the coin, Flowwolf. And DMR. I'll tell you something, man. You know, my mother, rest her soul, I turned out in the second part of my life, I did all right. I'm living the second half now, right? So what I did, DMR, I went back to school at 44, 45, right? I graduated college. I got a degree in history, right? Now, okay, I'm working on my BA in history, right? At the time, I'm going to Hunter College, New York, on 68th Street, and here comes the COVID. Here comes the COVID. Now, I have till this day either 28 credits or 32 credits to get my BA. That's where I stand right now, right? That's about two and a half semesters, a year and a half. Right. If I want to do a little more, I can do it within a year's time. Right. So the COVID comes, and the only reason why I'm not going back to school right now is because I don't want to get that shot. I'm not telling anybody here not to get it. I'm going to take it. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping the day will come when the COVID will ease up. What's getting ready to happen is I'm going to have to be forced to take it. I'm forced to do home college, and I don't want to do that on the computer because I'm better with hands-on when I can talk to people. But I say that to say, 45 years old, I went back, and now I did the right thing, right? And the only reason why I was able to do that, DMR, is because of the memory that I had of my mother. So I understand the importance of having good parents in the home. My mother was a very classy lady. She was a nurse, right? She worked in Kings County Hospital for 24 years. Then she got hurt on the job. She had to retire. But my mother showed me the other side of things. Well, I lived in Far Rockaway, one side white, one side black. So my mother would take me through. We had to travel through the white neighborhoods to get to where we were going. She would take me to 42nd Street shopping and eating, Macy's. She had charged car, all of this, right? And she'd take me to Tad's Steakhouse, and I had a mother that was like that. So as we traveled, I got to see the other side of life. I got to see Manhattan. I got to see the good parts of Brooklyn. I got to see the good parts, neighborhoods of Manhattan, Queens, through our travels. So I always knew, even though I was in the hood, I knew there was something else. At my young age, I wasn't able to tear away from that. When my pops left, the streets consumed me. So I understand what it is to have good parents in the home. And I understand that these kids are suffering from that. They don't have the good parents in the home. Most of them come from broken homes. They got one parent. And most of the time that parent, even though they're grown, they're kind of young in the mind. They act like they're children. That only adds to the problem. You see, so we're facing a multitude of problems here. But, you know, the sad thing is that at the end of the day, it seems like now our hands are being forced to deal to turn our back on some of our own. We have to start dealing with law enforcement to keep some of our own straight, man.
Yeah, man.
To stop some of our own from destroying some of us.
Yes, sad thing, you know.
It's sad, man. It's very, very, very sad. But you know, I want these kids to know there is a other side. There is another side to life, man. If I could go back and go back to school and do my thing at my old age, you guys have everything in front of you.
Exactly.
You're 16, you're 15.
No excuses, man.
Yo, and another thing, DMR that did it. Now check this out. This is a strange story, man. I got lucky I met my wife now. My wife and I stayed in the shelter for 3 years while I was going to school, bro. 3 years. Now, check this out. I found myself. See, what it was is I got wrung out. Like how you wring out a shirt that's wet and you wring out all the excess. In the shelter, you get wrung out because you ain't got nothing. You see him, it's just you. So I'm in the shelter and I'm getting $91.50 every 2 weeks from welfare. And about $200 in food stamps once a month. My wife doing the same thing. I learned at that time the meaning of life instead, because I was one like the young boy. I got to have the Michael Jordans on. I got to have this on going to school. And when I had that state of mind, I didn't finish school. But now, as an older man, and I saw that these things, that material stuff doesn't have a hold on me, I was able to go with a clear mind. I didn't have to worry about if I'm going there, people cracking on my no-name brand. I was buying those cheap Nikes out of the knockdown store for $35, wearing to school, going shopping at no-name brand clothes places to buy clothes. Whereas yesterday I had to go to Jimmy Jazz and all these stores to pay $2,000 for the same shirt I can get out of Burlington for a fraction of that money. So everything is centered around the mind. I don't know if we can expect I don't know if we can expect a young boy to mature like that off of our words. I had to go through it. I didn't go back to school till 20-some years later. But going back with a clear mind, and I understand how the mind controls everything. That's why I tell the young boy, get your mind straight. You don't have to have the Jordans. You don't have to have the $1,000 jeans on, the $2,000 belt, and the $90,000 coat and leather. All of this is fantasy that's coming off of this hip hop music designed to make you take chances to go to prison. So that's just our little message out here that we're trying to put out for the people. And I'm rambling on. And my brother Cosmology say, wisdom, my bro. Thank you, Cosmology. And Flo Wolf says, it's sad when a mother and father have tears in their eyes when their child go away. It's not a sadder feeling than that. You know, I've never experienced that by the grace of God. I hope I don't, but my condolences to everybody who has. And this is why we have to get out here to stop this stuff, man. I'm calling on all adults, people with gray in the beard, even if you dye your beard, you still got gray in there, right? Be an adult, man. It's time for us to step up as adults. We have to start dealing with law enforcement. If you're home and you see a group of guys out there look like some danger about to erupt or shoot out, whatever, pick up that phone and call 911. You may save somebody's life, somebody that you love. You may be saving their life. Family die, and you won't be there to attend when you're in jail for all of those years. That's right. You lose people. Shahrock said, we need more men like you both to step up and make a change. Hey, Shahrock, that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're both trying to do here, no doubt. Because that's what the Hierophant podcast is all about. And again, everybody that's here for the first time, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell on the way in and out, brothers and sisters. Give your brother Steve the thumbs up. Hit that like button for us, right? So we can get these videos out there faster. They can reach people faster. The more likes that we have on the video, they go out. YouTube send them out faster. So I'm trying to get this message out, and I'm asking Shy Rocks, I'm asking Cosmology Bay, I'm asking Flo Wolf and my brother DMR. Please keep coming back to this channel every time, because I want this platform to exist as a panel where we can talk. Grown folk talk to each other. I want you guys to start calling my phone line. Shy Rocks, Cosmology Bay, and everybody else that sees this, start calling, because I want to create a dialogue where grown folk begin to talk about what we have to do in our neighborhoods to make them safe and to combat this gang violence that these young boys are involved in. Please stay with me. All right. And the comments are coming in. Flo says, wait a minute. We need more men like you. Flo Wolf says being materialistic is not always good. Video life is fake. That's right. Shah Rock says absolutely. Thank you, my sister. Flo Wolf says most of that stuff is rented in the rap videos, no doubt. We know that for sure. Hey, but brothers and sisters, we're about to get on out of here tonight. Thank you all for being here. Shah Rocks, I thank you. Flo Wolf, thank you all the time. Cosmology Bay and everybody else that's been here watching us. Remember, please check in with me every time on the Hierophant podcast. That's what it's called, the Hierophant podcast. This is what grown folk want to talk. No doubt. Hey, let me tell you something, DMR. Always a pleasure, man, that you're here. I always
my brother.
Try to take my mind to another level when you're around, because I know that's where we're going intellectually, man. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate
you,
man.
brother.
You already know that. You already know that,
Steve,
man.
Hey, man, and you be safe up there too, here, man.
Yeah, I know.
Up there, bro.
I know. I see. I'm at risk. You know what I mean? I'm at risk.
You know
Some of these guys might hear me and don't like it or what have you. But let me tell you something, man. My attitude, DMR, is this. You know, I'm only 49. I ain't live a hell of a long time, but I tell you something. I got that Malcolm X in me, bro. You feel me?
Sir.
I got that Khalid Muhammad and that Malcolm X in me. I ain't gonna sit back and be quiet while violations are being like. It's like this when you draw a line. When I see babies being shot and killed,
that's right. Yeah,
8-month-old babies, 7-year-old babies, I can't sit back and be quiet for that, bro. I can't. Even if me and I gotta lose my own life, God forbid, I ain't gonna be quiet, because the Prophet of Islam told me. He said, if you see something that's wrong and you don't like it, change it with your hands. If you can't change it with your hands, speak about it with your mouth.
And that's the weakness of faith.
Right. That's the least. There you go. So you know it. And that's what I do here. So thank you all again for being here. Flo Wolf says yes. Love chopping it up with you and the team. No doubt, Flo Wolf. Love you,
Flo
sister. Most of that stuff, no doubt. Love you, sister. Please keep checking in with us, and we're gonna get on out of here now. DMR, I'm gonna slide you out the back door, brother. But make sure that okay, we got Lisa Jackson. Lisa Jackson says maybe we should start policing our own neighborhoods. Deacons of Defense did it. Shalom. Hey, Sister Jackson, let me tell you something. This is something I had in my mind. I said it in previous podcasts. I think we should go back to an upgraded neighborhood watch. In Edgemere Projects, where I lived in Far Rockaway, we had tenant patrol. My mother was a part of tenant patrol. But these were people that were living there. Maybe we need an upgraded tenant patrol where those amongst us who have license to carry firearms should be able to have those firearms. And we should also have to establish this through Congress, through your borough presidents, and now that Mayor Eric Adams is in there, we might can get that done, man. We're going to keep talking about it. So, Sister Jackson, please come back when you see the notifications come up for the Hierophant podcast, all right? We're going to get on out of here. DMR, I'm going to slide you to the back door, brother.
Steve,
salute.
Thank you very much, brother. Next time, man.
No doubt, man. Peace and love, man. Good night. Good night. All right, again, it's your brother Steve out of here. Thank you all for being here at the Hierophant podcast, chopping it up with me. Again, please continue to come back, brothers and sisters, because I want this platform to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people at a time talking up here, adults, about what we're going to do with our neighborhoods. How are we going to take the first steps to correct our neighborhoods and make them safe again? Flo Wolf, appreciate you, man. This is your brother Steve from the Hierophant podcast. I'm over and I'm out. Look out for my notifications. Give your brothers the thumb up on the way in and the way out. Hit that like button, y'all, so that the videos can get pushed out there quicker, all right? Your brother Steve, I'm out here. Peace, love, Black power, man. Peace and love.